Assalamu alaikum. Dear learners, in this video I'm going to explain that how you can type any text that is bounded by any shape in Photoshop. Sometimes you need to type some text but it has to be bounded by a particular type of shape. There are different ways to do that. I'm going to show you two different ways that how this can be done. The one is through the use of shapes and the other one is through the use of marquee tools. First of all, I'm going to use a marquee tool or a selection tool and add text in a particular form. For example, you might want to add some text in a circular shape, but you don't want that shape to appear. For that, you have to go over here, long press on this marquee tool, and you can select any shape you want. Right now, I'm going to select the elliptical marquee tool. Over here, I'm going to draw an ellipse like this. And now I want to add text that should be bounded by this selection area only. For that, you just need to right click on it, click on make work path, and then select the tolerance. The lower the tolerance, the more accurately the created path will look like the path or the shape which you have created. If you enter a higher value of tolerance, then the shape of the path that will be generated will not look much more like the shape which you have created over here. So I'm going to use 1 pixels over here. This is the path that have been created. Now I want to add text in it. So simply I'm going to select the text tool and click somewhere inside this circle. And now I can add any text. For example, now I can add any text in the shape that I have just created using selection tool. So whatever text you are going to type, it is going to be bounded by the shape. Okay, so that's it. That's the first way to add the text. The second way is you might want to add a text onto some image that is already there. For example, you can see a map over here, which is represented by a green color, and I want to add some text in that. What I can do is I can use a magic wand tool to select this area. This is the magic wand tool. Now click it and click inside this green area, but make sure you have selected this layer. Okay, so now when I'll click over here, the whole green area is selected. Now in a similar fashion, I'll right click on it and select make work path. Once again, I'm going to use a tolerance of 1 pixel. Let me show you that if I use a tolerance of 10 pixels, then what happens. So now you can see that the path which has been created is not very much similar to the green area that I selected. Okay, so it is recommended to use a smaller value of tolerance. So I'm going to use one over here. Now the path that has been created is pretty much the same as the green area. Now similarly, I'm going to add text over here by using the text tool and clicking inside somewhere inside this path. So now whatever I'll type, it will remain inside the green area that I selected using a magic wand tool. So this is the first way through which you can type any text bounded by a particular area which you have selected using selection tools, either the magic wand tool or the marquee tool. So now you can see that the shape which was created is not visible. But sometimes you want to create a shape that will act as a background and you want to add some text in that. For that, you can simply come over here, select this rectangle tool or long press it to see some other options over here. You can use any of the shape. For example, I'm going to use a polygon tool and draw a polygon over here. For example, like this. Make sure that from here you have selected shape and not some other thing. Now you just have to use the text tool once again, click somewhere inside this shape and start adding text. Now this text will be bounded by the shape that you have just drawn. This is quite simple, but will allow you to draw predefined shapes only. Okay, so now this shape is not going to disappear because this is a shape and you can change its properties. You can see that it is appearing over here as well. So it has been added as a layer. You can select this thing by double clicking on it, and you can choose its color, that what color this shape should have. So for example, I'm going to choose this one and just click OK. Moreover, you can change other properties as well by selecting the shape tool once again and selecting this layer. You can choose the line type, for example this one, but right now the line won't be visible because it is quite thin. So I can increase the outside or the outer periphery of this shape, and I can use any type of line like this. Moreover, I can change the color of the outer boundary as well. I can choose yellow color or any color you want. Okay, now there is one more way through which you can add text into some custom shape as well. For that, you can go to this shape tool and select custom shape tool. Now from this drop down menu, you can select all these custom shapes. For example, I'll use this one and click and drag over here to draw the shape. So this is the shape that has been created. You can once again use the text tool and click somewhere over here and start adding text into this shape. So this is once again quite easy and straightforward. Now let me show you one last thing that through which you can draw custom shapes and add text in those shapes. Okay, so the last thing is you can use a pen tool as well to draw a shape. So for that, select the pen tool. Make sure that over here it is not the path, but it is the shape. Now draw the shape, whatever shape you want to draw. For example, I'll draw this shape, which might be something like this. And now I want to add the text in it. And for that, I just need to select the text tool once again and click somewhere inside this shape. Once again, you can change the color or the outline of this path which you have, or of this shape which you have just created by using these things over here. So let me change it a bit so that it is visible. I can use the fill color like this, let's suppose. Now to add text in it, just select this type tool and click somewhere inside this shape and just start adding text in this shape which you have drawn using a pen tool. So there are a number of ways through which you can add text in Photoshop images which is bounded by shapes. So I hope that you have learned that how you can add text in different custom shapes and different selections which you have made on an image using Photoshop. Thank you and take care.